Netreo is delivered as either a self-contained virtual appliance for on-premise deployment, or as a cloud-hosted SaaS solution. Either way, your interaction with Netreo is entirely through a web browser, with no client or agent software to download or install, and no Flash or Java requirements, so it can work on any browser on any platform, including mobile devices. The same interface is used for real-time dashboards, reports, and administration, so there's no limit to the number of simultaneous users or administrators who can be working at the same time. When logging into the Netreo platform, you will either land on a customized dashboard that's been assigned to your user, or on the default Consolidated Dashboard. The Consolidated Dashboard is designed as a way to summarize all of the different areas of full-stack IT monitoring that Netreo is collecting data on, and provide a jumping-off point into that data. This includes everything from configuration management, network traffic analysis, synthetic application monitoring for email as well as web transactions, tactical device status, including service and application monitoring, and business workflows. Business workflows are designed to provide a non-technical way to present status data throughout the organization. They allow you to summarize all of the performance, service availability, application tests, and host status data into a single, easy-to-understand metric that accurately reflects the holistic service level status of your key applications, lines of business, departments, or regions, and present them in a way that anyone can quickly grasp what's going on. That way, non-IT managers don't need to know your naming conventions, or what application passes through which load balancer, or what the performance implications of a firewall bandwidth issue are. It's all translated for them into terms that anyone can understand. These can also then be used as a reporting pivot in order to organize reports by business function instead of by device or device type. They can also be used for operational functions like creating maintenance windows or for event correlation. The Tactical Overview section of the dashboard provides a summary of all of the different devices and applications being monitored in the environment. These can be organized by sites, by categories, or even by business workflows for more intuitive workflow through the environment. The Tactical Overview is designed for operational efficiency, so any problems that appear on the Tactical Dashboard can easily be drilled into and analyzed with a single click. It will show me a list of all of the affected devices, what metrics or services on those devices are failed, and some information about them like the current value, what the threshold is set to, when that threshold was exceeded. From here, I can acknowledge this problem, which will send out a message to anyone who received an alert from the problem, or update my ticketing system, letting them know that I've taken ownership of the problem and it's being worked on. I can also go to a dashboard for that device to see its overall status, or even go to a history of that particular metric to look for anomalies or correlations in the data. I can quickly and easily compare any of the metrics being monitored together using the arbitrary instance report. This allows me to look at any of the different pieces of data I've collected from anywhere in my environment to look for correlations in the data. I can have as many different devices or variables on the graph as I like, and have them all graphed together over the same time period, so I can quickly and easily look for correlations in the data, or present these as a report. The graphs are designed to be interactive, so that I can click and drag to get more detail about what was happening at a particular date and time, or even activate or deactivate specific variables in the graph to better understand the data. Should this prove to be a report that I wish to view again, I can instantly turn it into a PDF and email it out from the system. Or I can add it as a new page to any existing custom report I've already created, or even create a new custom report starting with this graph, and then have that report automatically emailed out daily, weekly, or monthly to any number of recipients. This means that it's very easy to take any of the data or metrics collected in the tool and export them in a format that I can use for troubleshooting or to keep up on current events within my environment without having to rely on reactive alarms. A good example of this is that any system can tell you when a hard drive is about to fill up and you need to go do something about it and react to the server immediately to prevent the server from crashing. But it's much nicer to simply get a report every morning that says, here are the servers with the lowest free hard drive space, so that if I go and correct the top few off that list, I get to sleep through the night and never have to get that reactive alarm that means I have to stop what I'm doing and drop everything to prevent a problem. In this way, I can truly become proactive about fixing problems within the network before they are even perceived by users. Netreo has built in an extensive number of tools to try to consolidate alerts into incidents and automatically correlate related problems together to reduce the amount of incident noise that needs to be processed in the environment. Alarms can automatically be correlated by site, location, network topology, or even by business workflow or application grouping, so that related problems are automatically clustered into a single incident that can then be the source of notifications, acknowledgements, or proactive actions that are taken to correct those issues. Any of the actions configured within the system can be manually executed by operators with the correct permissions, allowing me to dynamically reset systems, reboot servers, restart services, or even just post messages to common communication channels to make sure that my entire team stays in sync over the status of a complex or extended incident. Detailed information and history for each of the different alerts and state changes for the incident are available. Flapping conditions are also automatically detected and suppressed. Systems, including virtualized systems or network or infrastructure systems, are all monitored without the use of agents at a very deep level. In addition to the general CPU and memory statistics that most systems monitor, you can also monitor detailed service status, including application-level testing, or monitor all the way down to the per-process level on an individual system, automatically detecting new processes as they are launched, and being able to drill in to see exactly what changed for a particular process at a particular moment in time, all without additional licensing. By default, the system retains up to 3 years of performance history for most of these metrics, allowing long-term trending reports and analysis to be done. It also allows us to use anomaly detection to implement machine learning to detect unusual behaviors based on time of day or day of week performance variations automatically and without having to manually configure or adjust threshold levels. On networking devices, detailed information is available about interfaces, including traffic analysis where flow exports are supported. You can even look at a real-time histogram that allows you to look at an interface in real time at 5-second intervals so that you can watch for performance issues as they happen in the environment. This is all done directly through the web browser, again, without any software or agents required. I also have the ability to tag interfaces to allow me to quickly and easily run comparison reports or top talkers reports across multiple related interfaces based on their tagging information. Tags can also be automatically provisioned as part of configuration management. And again, any of these reports can instantly be turned into a custom report or added as an additional page to a custom report I've already created. In addition to device-level monitoring, Netreo includes synthetic application testing for both web and email applications. These synthetic application tests can be run against both internal applications, public-facing applications, or SaaS-hosted applications, and they can be run from multiple locations within your environment, or even using a network of reflectors that Netreo maintains around the country and around the world, allowing you to monitor performance from external locations as well in the same dashboard and in the same tool. Every step of the process can then be benchmarked, including multi-step transactions that involve logins, search forms, or following a specific link to log out to conserve resources. The performance history for each step of this process is then maintained for a prolonged period of time, allowing you to get empirical data about changes to the environment, such as, did the performance of my website improve when I changed hosting providers or internal architectures, or made those database changes that I had been meaning to do? All of these performance metrics are then subject to the same types of alarm settings that any other metric collected in Netreo is. That includes static thresholds for both high and low values, as well as artificially intelligent anomaly detection based on time of day or day of week intervals, so that you can quickly determine when something is behaving unusually given the time of day and day of week. Detailed performance statistics are also available for the Microsoft 365 suite of tools. This dashboard combines information from Microsoft's APIs with distributed performance testing using synthetic transactions. It also includes visibility into user adoption rates and storage usage for each of the services. So, for example, in an Exchange environment, I can have a synthetic transaction telling me how long it takes my users to log into Exchange Online, but also testing my local hybrid Exchange environment in combination with my Exchange Online. So if I'm using third-party extensions to Exchange, such as antivirus or document compliance plugins, those services will also be benchmarked as part of the synthetic transaction that runs through the Exchange infrastructure, so I can immediately be notified about any slowdowns or unusual performance changes in that environment. Netreo also includes flow-based traffic analysis, which allows us to process data from NetFlow, IPFix, SFlow, or CFlow devices to break down the applications in use on a particular device, interface, or site, or to drill into a particular device to see exactly what's happening on that device. So for example, if I need to see all of the applications transiting a particular interface at a particular moment in time, I can easily do that. And when I see the interface traffic, it will actually break down all of the different applications in use by the direction of that traffic. It then allows me to drill into a specific application to see the individual connections and users that are transiting that link at this time, along with how much volume that they're sending. I can even drill into an individual connection to see the history of that connection and when data was transmitted or received between those systems in 1-minute intervals. I can even update that screen in real time to watch for traffic as it happens. Application performance data can also be analyzed via anomaly detection, so that I can detect when a particular system is performing unusually, or when a site is using an unusual mix of traffic that's not normal for that time of day or for that day of the week. Netreo also includes network device configuration management to allow us to automatically detect when changes happen on network devices in the environment, and provide intuitive, structured reports to indicate what changes happened on which devices and when those changes took place. This allows you to quickly identify the source of potential network problems that are change-related. It can also allow me to drill into the history of all of the configurations recorded on that system. So I can quickly see all of the different changes that have happened and compare any of the different changes together to see what changes happened since the last known working state. It also includes configuration compliance rules, so that you can have automatic configuration remediation when unauthorized commands are entered into a system, or to force particular configurations to always be present. You can also run historical reports to confirm the compliance state of all of your systems over time. It also includes real-time command execution using our Looking Glass functionality, which allows you to run the same command on multiple devices simultaneously. Administrators can select which commands can be executed against specific devices, and then users with adequate permissions can then select from those commands, add arguments to them, or search the results for a specific string. So real-time execution on multiple devices is simple. This can drastically reduce the time it takes for, to example, find a particular user's MAC address on one of the switches on the 10th floor. Rather than playing console hopscotch, I can now run the same command on all of the different devices simultaneously and only have the matching lines returned directly to the web browser. This is also a useful function for giving NOC operators, or less technical folks, access to troubleshooting tools on the devices without having to give them complete access or login permissions to those devices. For more advanced users with the correct permissions, I can also use an interactive SSH command session directly from the web browser. This SSH session is then initiated from the Netreo appliance directly into that device, but the shell is present entirely on the web browser, allowing me to execute commands remotely and have all of those commands and the device's response to those commands completely logged. So I have a total audit record of everything that's been done to the device, who did it, and when they did it. I can also use the configuration management tools to push configurations out to devices either in real time or on a schedule, allowing me to automate the process of updating passwords, rotating encryption keys, or updating certificates, for example. Netreo includes a large number of built-in dashboards, as well as customizable dashboards that can be created on demand using a very simple drag-and-drop interface, allowing you to create customized views for each of your different teams while all sharing the same single source of truth to avoid finger-pointing and tool redundancy issues, as well as to reduce the amount of redundant alerts and parallel troubleshooting that are happening in your environment. Custom maps can be created that contain single devices, entire locations, or business workflows as objects on the map, allowing you to create all of the different types of visualizations that you might need for your environment, whether that be application-focused diagrams, Visio-type diagrams for network topology or logical topology, or even physical diagrams for things like sites, locations, and campuses. Netreo can also automatically generate geographic maps based on your location and site data. You can configure connections on these maps to represent the state of particular interfaces, connections, services, or thresholds. Devices will automatically update this map based on their geographic location, which means there's no administration required to keep the map up to date as new devices are discovered throughout the environment. Netreo also makes reporting quick and easy, using a series of built-in reports, as well as the ability to very quickly customize your own reports based on things like interface tags, descriptions, or names. This makes it simple to get exactly the views you need, and again, all of these reports can then instantly be automated if desired. All of the reporting data, including long-term reporting data, is available to be accessed through the web interface very quickly and easily. So even running a long-term uptime report, for example, and filtering that report by time of day or day of week, so only working hours are reflected, will return from the database in seconds, not hours or minutes. This allows you to very quickly get to all of the data that you need without having your users, operators, and engineers waiting on their toolset. Drilling into the data can provide additional detail all the way down to the individual device or service level. Netreo also automates device lifecycle management, so the process of onboarding new devices into the environment can be fully automated. It starts with discovery, allowing us to automatically detect new devices as they are added into the environment through a combination of technologies, including integration with vendor APIs such as cloud providers or virtualization providers or SD-WAN providers. It also can include scanning the network for new devices that may have been added, and it also includes the ability to use APIs to push new devices into the tool for DevOps automation and integration with tools like Jenkins or Ansible. When new devices are added into the tool, an interrogation process then begins, where we can check all of the different credentials we've been provided in the system to see if we can find a way to manage those new devices. Devices that are identified with a way to manage them are then placed through the auto-configuration system, which uses a series of rules to use any of the different parameters that we can discover about a device in order to add it into monitoring and put it into all of the correct categories, sites, and device types that might need to be added to that particular system. For example, a Windows server might be detected in your virtualization environment, automatically added into monitoring, but then it's detected that it's actually running a SQL process, so it's automatically going to be added into the database servers group, and all of your database specific settings will then be applied to it via a series of hierarchical nested templates. This hierarchical template system is a huge advantage as it adds the ability to add multiple layers of configuration onto a device while minimizing the number of templates that need to be managed. In a traditional environment where you have a single template system, you would have to copy your Windows template and add SQL settings to it, then copy the Windows template again to add Exchange settings to it, then perhaps copy it again to add additional application settings to it. And if you're in an environment where you might be running multiple applications on the same server, that would be another copy of the template. This makes it impossible to ever update any of the main settings from your Windows template without having to track down all of the 20 to 25 different templates that were copied from that original. By layering the templates on in a hierarchical fashion, we can ensure the minimum number of templates is used to create the maximum effect of automating all of the different settings, alarms, log messages, configuration compliance rules, threshold settings, and alerts that you want to monitor on those systems. This allows the Netreo platform to scale up to hundreds of thousands or millions of devices under management with an incredibly small administrative footprint. And for many customers, allows them to fully automate the process of onboarding new devices so that no manual intervention is required as new devices or applications are deployed within the environment. We welcome the opportunity to answer your questions and to show you any specific features of the Netreo platform that might be applicable to your environment.